How's it going, everybody? This is a non-spoiler review for Deadpool and Wolverine. It is the newest MCU movie, the only MCU movie of 2024. Ryan Reynolds returns as Deadpool, the Merc with a Mouth. Sean Levy directing this one. And this is the first MCU appearance for Deadpool. So, if you didn't know that Fox was bought over by Disney, and there was the Fox universe, there was the MCU, and they were pretty much separate. The X-Men couldn't come over, Deadpool couldn't come over. Well, that all changed when Disney bought Fox. And the reason I say, well, why is this relevant to anything as far as the story itself? Because it's relevant inside the story itself. And it plays through the other stuff, that the TVA and time and multiverse and all those things. And if you are a casual viewer, you're like, I haven't watched everything. I just liked Deadpool. Am I going to be lost? Well, I did something to make sure I could have an answer for you, as I took a friend of mine who had only seen Deadpool 1 and 2. This guy hasn't even seen Endgame. He hasn't seen a lot of the MCU stuff in general, and he just likes Deadpool. And I said, I wonder if he's going to be lost. And I said to him afterwards, I said, what'd you think? He said, I absolutely loved it. Now, a lot of things went over his head, but there's other things, and even stuff. This is a love letter to the Fox universe, for sure. There are things that you're going to expect to happen that do. There's things that you're going to expect to happen that doesn't. I will tell you that what works for me in this is the chemistry between Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. And Hugh Jackman and Wolverine together. They work together. Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. He actually comes out. That's not a spoiler. That was me messing up my thing. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, Deadpool and Wolverine together working. And it is there. You can tell that they're friends. You can tell that Sean Levy works really well with them. And the story is essentially that the TVA comes to recruit Deadpool, that there's something happening that he needs, that he can do, that his set of skills can do, and Deadpool wants purpose, and he wants to be able to belong, and he wants to be able to be part of something. So he goes along with the TVA, and through that he's got to find Wolverine. Why? Go see the movie. I'll tell you that. And this version of Wolverine is troubled. Most versions of Wolverine are troubled, but this one in particular. And so what people are going to ask is, does the humor outpower the heart? And I think, honestly, I can say sometimes. But is the heart missing? No, the heart is there. And Hugh Jackman really brings the heart to this particular movie. And Ryan Reynolds, when he's not cracking jokes, his story absolutely brings heart to it also. I think that there were times when I was watching it and I'm going, oh, yeah, it was a funny joke. I think that maybe they're really pouring the humor on, and they're really breaking that wall to let you know, this is the Fox universe into the MCU now, and it's right in your face. And as much as that sometimes would bother me, this is kind of Deadpool shtick, and they give it to you right away. And there are sometimes, like I said, that I think that the jokes are like, yeah, they're there, they're funny. And I'm like, oh, right there, I wish we would have had a little bit more heart. But it never took me to where I'm like, oh, all this is just joke. There's a lot of jokes, but I think that they establish the tone very well. And I really enjoyed this movie. And I think that I think that what they do, which I also love, is they don't shy away from calling the fact that the multiverse has been a freaking mess. This phase of Marvel has been a mess. And they embrace that. There are cameos in here. I'm not going to tell you what those cameos are. You expect them. There have been rumors. I would definitely tell you to stay off the internet in general, because you don't want to get spoiled. You want to see this because there's some reveals in this that I had no clue was going to happen, and I was happy that they do. And it's not just cameos. There's roles. There's one particular cameo that is fantastic. And if you watch my show, you'll know that, well, he's definitely going to like that particular cameo, and I did, and we'll discuss that in the full spoiler review and in the spoiler discussion that I'm going to have with Winston and Coy. But what they did and what Ryan Reynolds does is that the essence of the character himself, and I think that's the beauty of being able to, throw in things like the fact that he is Ryan Reynolds, and the fact that some people can find that jarring, but I think because Deadpool's been doing it since the first movie, it definitely works. It is a violent movie. Very violent movie. Again, I give them, people are like, oh, I wonder if Disney's going to go full R. They go full R and more. It's super gory. It's super violent. And the other thing is they pay respect to the stuff that came before. And I think that, as I said, it was a love letter to the Fox universe. There are things that happen inside of it that you're like, oh, because there was certain things I think people thought were going to happen in a particular way that I don't think did. The end credit scene is what everyone's going to say. I heard the end credit scene is just mind-blowing. Not really. It's relevant to the film, but it's not anything that you're going to like, oh my God, that's one of the best post-credit scenes ever. It's fine. It's, like I said, it fits the movie. It fits the movie. So I will say that my biggest criticisms was sometimes I wanted the heart to overweigh the jokes, and then there were certain times when I was like, okay, they're going to play this joke again, and it's funny, but I'm like, oh, I just wish they would just dive into that heart right there. But then they do. And when they dive into the heart, I'm like, okay, I see that this bond that they have, it's a buddy cop kind of, or I guess buddy cop, but a buddy action film with this is how annoying Deadpool can be and how angry Wolverine is, and the two of them together trying to work together, and Deadpool trying to convince Wolverine to step it up, and Wolverine just telling Deadpool to shut the F up, and then everybody else that has to deal with them. I would say the people are going to ask the villains, how are the villains in this one? They're okay. They're okay. Villains are okay. It's like there's Nova, to me, I thought was going to be a little more menacing than she was. There were certain things that she did that I was like, okay, this is really going to work. And then she kind of fades in the background, and the spotlight really is on Wolverine and Deadpool. But it is the best MCU movie in quite a while. It should set some things in motion for the remainder of the MCU and how it works, I believe. So overall, I'm going to go 4.3 out of 5 for Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, so I give it 8 out of 10. Little 8 out of 10, little 8.2 out of 10, I think. That works. That works for me. So I'm curious, and it could go up. I got to see it again. Could go down. I don't know if it's going to go down. I think it'll stay there. But I think that this was a movie to me that I really enjoyed, and I was curious because I think that what Marvel did was I think they lost their way, and this movie doesn't lose its way. It clearly feels like part of the Deadpool universe in general. Do the cameos feel... I saw a couple tweets that said that the cameos were just there to have cameos, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I think that they actually have relevance to what is happening in this overall universe and this overall movie. And it works. It works to me. And I'm definitely going to see it again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else there. The music works. The soundtrack, where the soundtrack for Deadpool has also been crucial in the way that they use certain songs from pop culture and pop culture references and all those things. I think that there's some moments that happen even with the fight scenes and the way that if people are walking in, it almost feels like a wrestling event at one point. I really want to dive into the spoilers once I can, not here, but because there's so much I want to talk about of things. There's a particular comedic moment, which I thought was the funniest moment in the movie. There's a sequence that happens in the movie that I thought was hilarious. If I tell you about it, you're going to hate my guts for telling you, so I won't do that. I'll do it in the spoilers. But there's just a moment, there's particular characters that are having a riff, and it's hilarious. It's really hilarious, and it's some of these things that they do use from things that aren't maybe not known to everybody. And that's what I was curious about and why I brought my friend, because there's certain things and references that happen, even in jokes, that are thrown out there that I'm like, if you're not paying attention what's happening in like the overall news cycle with movies and this, you might not know what the hell he's talking about. And my friend didn't, but he still thought it was hilarious. He still thought the things were funny. So I'm curious to what the overall audience who's not paying attention, the casual audience, I think that they're going to dig it because it's full on balls to the wall. No punches held back, man. It is they definitely go for it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a full spoiler review just by myself. That will come out over the weekend, and then a full spoiler discussion with my friends Winston A. Marshall and Coy Jandro. That will drop on Monday. That'll be a longer conversation, probably close to an hour, so if you want to tune into that. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of it. I just did a Joker 2 trailer reaction. That's up on the channel. I had my out of the theater reaction, or right when I walked out of the theater last night, of this movie, a few other things that are happening here. So that's it. That's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me here today. I appreciate it. Leave your comments, click like, share this video, do all that. Helps tremendously. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Bye. I have been getting really nice comments from people lately and noticing that I've been losing weight and that I've been in shape and doing all these things. And one of the reasons why is because I've been eating better, been paying attention. And one of those things I've been doing is Magic Spoon. And so many, every time I talk about Magic Spoon, I get people right afterwards saying, I just tried it. And then that same person will follow up and go, and I love it. People love Magic Spoon because I loved eating cereal as a kid. But as an adult, you can't do it because of all the sugar, and most of the cereals don't give me the protein that I need. And I found Magic Spoon, which is really great. And it tastes very similar to my childhood favorites, but it doesn't have all the sugar, and it's got a ton of protein. And that's my snack at night. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal, it's got 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you're eating. So the most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, and there's so many more. I mix the cocoa and the peanut butter personally, but they also have treats. Magic Spoon has brand new treats. They're crispy, they're crunchy, and they're an easy way to get 11 grams of protein on the go. For the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. It's delicious. My friend Dan says, you know, it's really delicious, Kristian. I got to try this Magic Spoon. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/bakething. Or look for Magic Spoon in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/bakething for $5 off. That's Magic Spoon. Hold on to the dream. And I got to tell you about AG1. You guys know AG1. I mean, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know that I love AG1. And people keep asking me. They notice. John even said when I started, new look, 20 pounds I lost. One of those reasons, AG1 became part of my routine. Because for a long time, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. It just wasn't. For me, I read labels. I verify that everything is up to the quality I need. And that is why I've stayed with AG1 for as long as I have. It is a research-backed foundational nutrition supplement, and it delivers daily nutrients, gut health support, and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting into your body. Because I like coffee. I used to drink so much coffee to keep up, but I don't need it anymore, not as much, because after drinking AG1, I have realized that I have all this energy and I need less coffee to power my day. It turns out I'm not alone. Because in a research study, 91% of people noticed they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. 97% of people in a research study felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. That's crazy. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That's me. Energy is a majorly important reason why it comes to I need so much energy for parenting. I can tell you that right now. AG1 contains ingredients to sustain energy so you can be the best version of yourself within each day. And it really has worked for me, and it's helped me on the plane, everything. It's easy, it's satisfying to start your journey with AG1. But if you go to AG1, and I got to tell you about AG1, you can get a free 1-year supply of Vitamin D3K2. You've been listening to this show long enough, you know free AG1 I love AG1 travel. And people keep asking me, they notice. Drink AG1. John even said when I started, new look, drink AG1.com. One of those reasons, big thing. AG1 one became part of my routine to support my whole body health. Because for a long time, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. It just wasn't. For me, I read labels. I verify that everything is up to the quality I need. And that is why I've stayed with AG1 for as long as I have. It is a research-backed foundational nutrition supplement, and it delivers daily nutrients, gut health support, and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting into your body. Because I like coffee. I used to drink so much coffee to keep up, but I don't need it anymore, not as much, because after drinking AG1, I have realized that I have all this energy and I need less coffee to power my day. It turns out I'm not alone. because in a research study, 91% of people noticed they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. 97% of people in a research study felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. That's crazy. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That's me. Energy is a majorly important reason why it comes to I need so much energy for parenting. I can tell you that right now. AG1 contains ingredients to sustain energy so you can be the best version of yourself within each day. And it really has worked for me, and it's helped me on the plane, everything. It's easy, it's satisfying to start your journey with AG1. If you go to AG1 and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase, you got to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. It's the one product I trust to support my whole body health. It's AG1.